everyone, Ruben and I are excited to share with you on a subject that is very personal to both of us in our journey with the Lord. I mean, I know me especially have really walked through this over the years, and that is overcoming the fear of man.
That's right. So let's begin in Proverbs 29, verse 25. And it says this: "The fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe." So we know that a snare is a trap, right? Like when we get caught in a trap, we're essentially stuck. Now, I think of a wild animal that gets caught in a trap and they lose all movement and become helpless. That is what fear of man does, according to this passage. Now, we unknowingly draw back and our lives become unfruitful and stagnant because man, or men, women out there, are now dictating how we live our life rather than God.
Yeah, that's right. And I think the best way to describe the fear of man, more than an emotion, is when we place greater value on man's approval of us rather than God's approval. The Apostle Paul says it really well in Galatians 1, verse 10. "For am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? Or am I trying to please man? If I were still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ." Now, this is a crazy statement. Paul is saying, I would have quit years ago doing everything that I'm doing for Christ if I had allowed man's opinion to dictate my life. Now, think of all the incredible blessings that we, the church, have received from the ministry of Paul. His letters, his life testimony, the story of his redemption, and to think that had he backed down because of the fear of man, we would have missed out on all the beautiful nuggets of truth that God entrusted to his stewardship.
Wow, yeah, all the mysteries.
I know, right?
It's so sobering. And it really puts the fear of the Lord.
Yeah, right. Which is the opposite of the fear of man. So that's what we want.
Yeah, absolutely. So going back to Proverbs 29, where it says, "The fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe." Now, another way to say this is whoever puts their confidence in the Lord is safe. We can overcome fear of man when we know that God is on our side. Now, this is what happened to David in Psalm 118, verse 6, where he writes, "The Lord is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do to me?" David knew that God was for him, even in his weakness. And when you come to this place of confidence in the Lord, like David, you begin to care less about what other people think about you, and more about what God sees in you. Now, man can reject me, and he can gossip about us, right? He can beat us, he can even kill us. But because my hope was never in man, then in the end, it really doesn't matter on this side of eternity.
Yeah, I really want that perspective because I get tripped up with that so much. That's so good. So, this is my own prayer for my own life and Reuben as well. I pray that today God would help us to overcome the fear of man and to fear him instead, fueled by his passionate love for us.
Yeah, so let me pray for you. Father, I do ask that you would release this confidence in you over all who are hearing, that are watching this video. Lord, I pray for a renewed portion of that kind of Godfidence, right? The confidence that comes from above. Lord, release it even now and break the fear of man over those watching, Lord, that they might live freely and full lives. Amen.
God bless you, friends.